down the main straight at Suzuka, out the slipstream to the outside into turn one, and we're going to hang around the outside, and stay tuned for later on the video where we're going to discuss that one. What's up guys, I'm Chris Doughty aka Doughtinator, and we're back on GT Sport for some daily race C. Deadeye Del Boy's in here, good to see him back on the track. Womble Boss aka Womble Leader Racing, and we're going to get straight into this one. Suzuka Group 2 medium and hard tyres, both available, both required, and we're going to start on the hard tyres. These should last me about 3 laps when they switch to the mediums, and we're going to get straight into this one, into turn one for the first time on the hard tyres. Lap one, always very challenging. The cold tyres into turn one at Suzuka, always in risk of a Suzuka suck off around the outside there, but we're going to make it through okay this time. And this is our first race of the night. It was Thursday, so we're finally getting up to speed with Suzuka. It is very much a flow track. You need to get the flow, get the turning points, the braking points, and really find your flow at Suzuka. And I'm struggling really. So we didn't really set a particularly good qualifying time. Started in 10th position. But we are maintaining that 10th position. Degna 1 is my absolute nemesis. Degna 2 I do enjoy as long as I get Degna 1 right. But it looks like some penalties ahead for some drivers, and we are kind of in the pack there. Race Asylum Academy driver ahead there, John Boy. It looks like he's been mugged off into that hairpin there. Maybe it was an aggressive dive, who really knows, but it's great to see the Race Asylum Academy drivers out on the track. If you do want to join the Race Asylum Discord, there'll be a link in the description below. Lots of people available to help you get faster in GT Sport, and it's great to see the Race Asylum Academy drivers out there on the track. So will we call in some team orders on the Academy driver? I don't think so. We're running as reserve driver now, so we don't really have any right to call the team orders. No multi-21 is going to happen in this race, but we're going to be through 130R soon with a train of cars. In the dirty air with these Group 2 cars, it's very difficult. You do lose a lot of downforce through the high-speed stuff, and they're going to go side by side into the final chicane. It's all going to kick off a little bit there, wide from the Irish driver. He's going to run our Academy driver out wide there. Unlucky to John Boy there, but we're going to make that position happen for ourselves. In fact, I can't see him at all. Maybe there's been an incident happening in there, but we raced John Boy through a few of the races this night, and he did really fantastically. So it's great to see the Academy drivers out on the track. We're going to look to the outside of the Irish driver into turn one. It's not going to work out for us this time. I feel like I've got the pace on the driver ahead, but we just need to make sure we don't overdrive the car when we're in the dirty air through sector 1 at Suzuka. It's so frustrating to follow cars. You just lose all the downforce over the car. The car just wants to understeer, and certainly through this corner, I think it's called Dunlop, the danger of running wide in that corner is very high. And into Degna 1 again, carry too much speed into here, touch the gravel on the outside, as we almost do there, and it's a crash waiting to happen as we've been blocked to the inside. A Spanish driver makes a move on us. Now, I know my Degna 1 wasn't particularly good, but I don't know how he's managed to get us mugged off there. And to the outside, we've got another driver trying his look around the outside at the hairpin. We're not going to let that one happen. No one's mugging me off twice in one race. And we're going to try and set our sights back on the Spanish driver ahead now. We are starting on the hard tyres, so maybe that Spanish driver has a huge tyre advantage on the mediums, but we just can't quite figure out how he's managed to just mug us off there into Degna 2. It doesn't seem to have particularly much grip advantage through Spoon here now, so maybe it is same tyres, who knows. But we are in the slipstream of that bright green car, Spanish driver now, so we are closing in fractionally into 130R on the hard tyres in the dirty air. Are we going to keep it flat and we just lift on the outside just to avoid getting too wide there? We're going to get on the brakes now into the final chicane, and we're going to get blocked to the inside again. That driver's appeared once more, and I think we're going to sack it off now. We're going to get rid of these tyres 1 lap earlier. We just didn't want to be in that pack, so we're going to go for a super undercut on the drivers ahead now. So we're going to run through these corners here now, skipping forward to lap number 3, Degna 2, and a driver ahead is just going to give up. Completely unexpected, but we're going to go to the inside there and make that move happen. We'll take that position. Again, still following that Spanish driver ahead now. Down the main straight now, lap number 4 we begin, and other drivers are starting to make their pit stops. Are we going to be able to clear them with the undercut? It doesn't quite look like it. We're going to sneak to the outside now. We're not going to make a move there. It's the Irish driver once more. We haven't done enough to clear him on the undercut, but we have the pace. He will have fresher tyres than us, but he does have a 1 second penalty. I think it's a track limits penalty. and we'll see how that one works out. So we stuck behind him again through sector 1, just scrubbing the tyres, wasting time in the dirty air. It's a very frustrating experience. Sector 1 at Suzuka. How have you been getting on with Daily Race C this week at Suzuka? I enjoy driving these Group 2 cars. I'd say I'm a Group 2 specialist, but I've always got a bit of a weakness at Suzuka. It takes me a long time to get up to speed and really find the flow around Suzuka. And by the time the week's over, I'm almost just finding my feet. Is now a driver there has got a massive problem. I'm really going to slide on the outside, avoid that spinning cone, almost loop the car out with a bit of swaz on corner exit, but we've got it under control, and an extra place for ourselves. That's absolutely ideal. Penalty for the driver ahead, and we're just kind of starting to lose touch. They've got a 1 second penalty. We are just over 1 second behind them. Through Spoon, difficult set of corners, and we're just a bit wide on corner exit, but we do get a good drive out the corner. So that 1 second penalty for the driver ahead is going to translate into much more than 1 second, as he's going to be slowed down on the fastest part of the track, and we're going to make the move happen. Through 130R with the medium tyres is much easier to keep it flat on the throttle, braking into the final chicane. And we've got a bit of a gap to the cars ahead now, so hopefully we can get our head down, put some good laps in. These tyres are 3 laps old now, 2 laps old, but we still should be able to get a good performance out of them, and we really do need to start setting some good lap times to really start progressing through the pack as those medium tyre runners start to pit later on in the race. So through turn 1, just going down through the gears as we're trailing the brake into the corner, and we get that done nicely. Up into 4th gear through the first part of the S's, down to 3rd gear through the middle section of the S's, again just blending the throttle, brushing the curbs to help with car rotation, and then just 3rd gear and down to 2nd gear for this long right-hander. Now through Dunlop, we just get off the throttle just to keep the car in the track limits, and we do that absolutely perfectly. Purple sector 4, sector 1 into Degner 1. Are we going to get it in the track limits? That's pretty perfect. On the brakes down to Degner 2, and we brush the corner perfectly there. Great exit from the corner there, and we are again purple in sector 2. This is going to be a fantastic lap, guys. Onto the brakes into the hairpin, and we've got a nice late apex there, getting on the gas early, and we're just catching the cars ahead just fractionally. This could be absolutely fantastic lap time for us. Just need to get a good run through Spoon, approaching it in 5th gear and to 6th gear, down 2 gears for the first part, down to 3rd gear for the middle part, and then finally down to 2nd gear for the final part of Spoon, getting on the gas up to 3rd gear quite quickly. And now we're on the run down into 130R. Spoon's not a strong corner for me, and we might see that in the lap time ahead now as we go across the sector 3 checkpoint, and we are up on our best time, but we're not on purple lap time anymore. Braking into the Casio triangle, down all the way to 3rd gear, cut as much as you can through both of these 2 corners, getting on the gas nice and early and driving to the finish line. I think this is going to be a good lap, so let's just run it to the barrier and get that lap time. And we do. We go purple, reserve driver, fastest lap of the race on lap number 6, and we just need to keep repeating that. Let's do more of those lap times and try and get the undercut on the drivers that are going to be pitting later in the race. Skipping forwards now, lap number 7, and cars are starting to exit the pits now. Have we done enough to clear them? Again, we've just not quite done enough. The French driver's going to stay ahead of us, and we're almost going to lose it into turn 1, but we're going to catch that one quite remarkably. Very, very difficult to do. Don't go near the edge of the curbs there at Suzuka turn 1. Always very, very dangerous, but we're stuck behind another driver. The theme of this race, guys, is we're getting stuck behind guys through the sector 1 mainly. We're just losing a handful of time. Look how much of the gap is pulling on us. Skipping forwards now, final lap. We did try and progress a little bit further, but into Degner 2, we're going to run a little bit wide on corner exit. The tyre's really suffering. I'm just going to loop it out a little bit. Bit of over swaz, didn't quite catch that one. Tyres are really shot, to be honest. Pitted a lap too early, but we're going to get one final challenge. Car to our outside now. Our car, we're going to be back with it a little later on. He's going to go too deep on the brakes, and he's going to go wide at Spoon. Let me know what you think of that one in the comments below. Was that just him going too wide, or did I force him a little bit wide? Always interested to know what you think about that. And we're going to bring it home in 9th position now, guys. I had some really good races during the night, often running mid-pack, a lot of battling with other drivers. And if you've stayed watching this far, this is your bonus footage now. In another race, we got dived into the last chicane, and the Italian driver is going to go deep in the chicane. He's going to make that move happen on us. I tried to get a cutback on corner exit, but that didn't quite work out. But we did get a great drive down the main straight now in the slipstream, heavily defended to the inside. There's only one way I can go for this bit here. So I'm going to sweep out from the slipstream, going to run it right to the outside. I didn't want to give this position up all the way around the outside, side by side into the second part of the first corner, and we're still going to hang on the outside, getting on the gas early, and then we're going to sweep back in front and make that move happen, guys. Let me know what you think of that one in the comments below. Let's see it from another angle. So he's going to dive us massively, and he does get it stopped, to be fair. That is a good move. At the time, I was a bit annoyed. I thought it was a bit of a dive, but he stayed within track limits, no problem. So at the time, I was fired up to send this one around the outside into turn one. You can see we're going to get lined up here, sweep away, and then we're going to just keep on the gas and brake as late as we can, trailing throttle and brake to make sure we keep the car in line, always leaving space on the inside. I've got to respect the other drivers, and it has to be said that he's respected us as well. So it was great battling between that guy there.